Peace, 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 y'all. This is Empress Coach Rita Nicole, and this is the AM Inspiration Show to wake that ass up. Streaming live from StreamYard, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Clubhouse, and Spooncast. Also streaming live from Anchor and uploaded to Spotify. Now, with that being said, today is Friday, October the 14th. 2022. Period. Now, today we are going to be speaking on some highly important things. Okay? So today the topic is transmutation of energy. Yes, that's a thing that people, they're not really conscious of. And because this show is about waking that ass up consciously, spiritually, emotionally, physically, financially, soulfully, mentally, period. We are going to hop right into this topic. Now, with that being said, I'm going to give y'all a few more seconds of this lovely background music, and then we're going to hop into the topic, period. All right, y'all. Yes, I'm so happy about this topic. We always, we are the original, the authentic, the one, the only AM Inspiration Show to wake that ass up. Often imitated, never duplicated. It's too much love out here to be a hater, period. Okay? Now, with that being said, let's get into this topic because this is something that you hear people say, but you actually don't see them do. So, with that being said, shout out to all my light workers, shout out to all my brujos, priestesses, high priestesses, and just people just doing the damn thing to elevate their life. Peace, peace, y'all. How you doing? Dun, dun, dun. Okay, and we're going to turn that down a little bit. Now, when you think of what is transmutation of energy, right? So people they don't understand that the energy that we project out is extremely strong and is literally comprised, like is really compelled and like compacted of, and whatever word you would like to use, of our thoughts, our emotions, from minute to second to hour by hour, right? Okay, so that's our, like, that compiles up our aura, right? Our energetic fields, right? Okay, so you're basically like the thoughts that we have and emanations from our mind. It really exasperates from our soul, like it's projected from our soul. Okay, our feelings and emanations. Okay, so it's levels of consciousness that are in our control, because a lot of people are not, they feel like they're not in control. They feel like they may be living in the matrix, or they're trying to figure out how to get out of the the big wheel. So literally, the world is extremely chaotic. It's a chaotic place, and a lot of people need that guidance to help them transmute through the world. Because if not, it's just like a harsh form of an existence that's not going to really center your most favorable well-being. Okay. So with that being said, I do want to shout out to Spoon. Oh my God, how can I leave y'all out? Shout out to Spoon. You're always coming through for me. You're always showing up for me. Peace, y'all. If you want to come up, hit the phone icon and I'll bring you up. Have some patience. Thank you. XOXO. Mwah. Now, back to the conversation. So when you think of lower energy or low vibrational energy, okay, you think of things like sadness, pain, the lack of, and anger, okay? So there's a lot of different techniques that you can do to transmute, or uplift the low vibrational energy into a higher vibration, okay? So in this podcast, I'm literally going to be giving you tips and tools on how to do that. So if you're not interested in learning tips or tools, then this might not be the podcast for you. But we're here for self-development. We're here to master ourselves and to master, like, oh, you want to master me? No, I want to master, Chi, I want to master me. Because you are Chi. So anyway, but how to focus your energy, like center, not really center, but not hyper focus, but focus on that lower vibrational energy, right? And give it all your attention and see how it feels, giving all your attention to that lower vibration, right? And take a second. Now, imagine the opposite, of the same energy, okay? And when you imagine the opposite of the energy, it's definitely like high vibrational. It's happiness, it's contentment, it's optimism, it's ambition, and it's action and not reactionary, okay? So now you understand what I'm just speaking on is literally duality, okay? And this is how we're able to transmute energies when we have that connectivity to duality. Okay, we're all humans, so we all have the connectivity to duality by birth because of our masculine and our feminine principles. This is not a show about masculine and feminine principle, but it may come up a few times because we're speaking on duality, like the yin and the yang. Okay, now, it's all divine energy anyway. So when you're using a technique, like, you're not only benefiting yourself and raising your own vibration, but just notice around you, like, something we always say, like in the psychology field, is that even when one person in the house is depressed, the entire house is depressed. Because guess what? The energy is rubbing off into everyone. Everyone's, taking it in, and they're going through, trauma, or they're going through experiences that person is experiencing, even if they're just trying to help them, right? The planet outside, the neighbors, your plants, your pets, your garden, even, so it's easy to become intertwined, to practice over time transmuting your energy. Like, if you're feeling really sad, just realize how icky it makes you feel. And it's not telling yourself, oh, be positive, because that's just trash. Like, come on with the toxic positivity. You don't need to do that. The thing you can do is harness that energy and embrace how it's making you feel, but also remember the other side of that energy, which is a good, calm, collected, happy, excited, just an overall great, disposition to be in. Okay. So that's how you're going to switch over. Now, it's so important because when you imprint, every time you imprint, it may stay in a place longer than you wanted it to stay. Okay. So when you imprint, it's not easily to remove it. Like, if anyone ever seen the movie Twilight, and Jacob, when he imprinted on that child, Renesmee, that was something that was special. It's like a trance or something. I'm not saying you're leaving trances everywhere. What I'm saying is that as humans, we are very impactful. We make imprints and stuff like that wherever we go, wherever we take our environment, which is our human vessel, our physical bodies, attached to our physical bodies is our spiritual, connectivity to that body, our soulful connectivity, our energetic fields, and different things like that. Like, if you did not know that a human has 500 energetic fields, right? But we only focus on the first 15. And I have so much information out like that. Maybe I'll do another podcast on it, but we're not going to hyper focus. But I'm just telling you that to make a point is that that's how you make an impact or an imprint, because we have so many energetic fields around us, and our aura layers are so many, that it's quite easy to make an impact, and it's very hard to remove one. Okay. So when you're thinking about embracing the transmutation of thoughts, right? It's literally the same thing we've been teaching y'all for over a year now about decluttering the mind and reframing your thoughts, but you're just thinking of it in a more spiritual aspect, because you're dealing with your thoughts, your feelings, and other aspects that may come into play when you're feeling low. Okay. Even if it's like mental health, mental disease, trauma, things of that nature as well. Okay. Now, I'm not saying when you declutter your mind, you're not dealing with that. I'm just saying that at this point, we're talking about a more spiritual side, right? So if you think of yourself like the sea, right? And you think like, okay, well, I'm a sea, and I'm in this world, and I've sent out many boats. I've sent out many boats, or you can look at it as projection. Like I projected out many things, or I'm imprinted on many places, right? And you really have to think of it this way. What do you do in your existence every day? Or what would you do if you were the sea? What would you want to happen, right? Just think about the ocean or the sea. Excuse me. Think about it right now. What do you think needs to happen in the ocean? There's a lot of things going on. I'm not going to go all activist on y'all. But a few things is like maintaining wildlife, right? Keeping the water clean, okay? Making sure it's adequate sunlight into the ocean water so the storms aren't as bad, right? And sending lots of love into the sea or the ocean, whatever you want to call it, right? So this is you. We're talking about you right now. We're not talking about the actual ocean, but we're just giving you an example of the things you would want to do. So as a human, you want to go outside and get sunlight, right? Mm-hmm. Then you want to remove things that are not serving you, which is the trash, right? Mm-hmm. And you want to help the environment around you, which would be like the wildlife or the sea creatures or the other creatures, right? And you also want to send thoughts of love, which is how you're talking to yourself, self-talk, okay? Period. Dun, dun, dun. Now, when you send light, it comes from your soul or your spirit. Now, my thing is our souls is how we connect to other people. Our spirit is how we connect to self. Period. Okay. So if you want to know, like, okay, so what's the next step? Like, how do I actually transmute the energy? How do I get to being in that place of contentment, of quote unquote happiness, high vibrations? I want to be in that place, Empress. So come on with it. Okay, so here I come. Just need a moment. Now, let's discuss how to do this, okay? So, our spirit is a part of us that exists in a higher world, like a higher dimension, right? And that part of us, we can see and feel light in ways that our physical vessel cannot, okay? And to access that part of us, we have to like literally dive deep into the shadow side of us, that subconscious, and that conscious mind as well. So we got to dive really deep, because our imagination, um or our sight, I don't like to call it imagination, but you know you have to be open. So I guess people will use imagination, but you have to be open enough to receive the gifts from the universe to be able to tap into the mind's eye, or that part of your mind that you literally feel like it's the part that keeps you, stagnated. It's the part that doesn't allow you to grow. It's the part that need to be opened up like Pandora's box. But guess who has the key? You have the key. So with that being said, um, The light of your spirit is the purest light that you carry, period. Okay. And it also exists in your soul, your mind, but exists in your physical form in a low frequency. Because why does it exist in your how does it exist in your physical form when you say it doesn't exist in your physical form? The frequency is very low, but it allows us to do things like meditation, like our yoga. It's still connectivity to ourself. And if you notice, like certain times and certain frequencies when you're doing things, like say for instance, if you're using a chime bowl or you're holding a selenite crystal and you touch it and your whole body goes numb, or you hear a sound bowl and it feels like your chest is just cracking and opening up because it's a deep chakra frequency noise that's coming off of the chime bowl that's meant to open up your heart chakra because it may be blocked or you may be experiencing blockages. And that can happen to any of the chakras: root, sacral, solar, throat, mind's eye, and crown. Okay. But you have to remember we have over 500, right? Okay. I'm not going to get too deep into Reiki and the healing thing, but I just want y'all to know that this is why that low bit that exists in the physical form, it definitely helps us to operate with those spiritual channels that we have. Okay. That spiritual light, excuse me. And there's a lot of things that you can do to direct it to a location, but literally touch, thought, things that you see, and a lot of the times in spirituality, a lot of people go to the conversation around us as humans having halos over our heads, and they're at least like 2 feet to 5 feet in width, right? So if you imagine sharing that halo light, right, with the part of yourself that needs love, like your heart center, right, you would direct that energy into your heart. You would direct all that light energy, like, oh, I need this light energy. We say things like, I am loving, I am open, I'm nurturing, I'm open to receive this energy. You would not speak on how sad you feel or how depressed you feel or how anxious you feel or how fearful you feel. You want to speak on the low vibrational things. You will only speak life into yourself. And with that being said, you're able to move the light. In practices like when I do guided meditation, we always tell people to imagine the big ball, a golden ball of the sun, from their toes all the way up to their crown, because we're aware of all the Reiki and the chakra points that it's going to hit on that human vessel. And we want to bring the energy up and hit all the points of the body in the bloodstream to heal, to unlock, to allow you to transmute, to allow you to be free enough to experience liberation, right? Okay, I'm not talking no freaky, what they call it, crazy stuff. Okay, so when you experience it, it's not something that's like, you know what? Some people get scared. Some people cry. Some people have orgasms. Some people have a lot of different experiences with transmutation of energy, because sometimes it could be a transmutation of energy, yet it could be a sexual thing. It could be like turn into like a sacral chakra thing. Okay, now spiritual light, it carries healing properties, of course, like we just discussed, like longevity, like a long life, being peaceful and in balance with yourself, healing, being nurturing, and optimal wealth. Okay, optimal wealth includes health, career, finances, things of that nature, right? And you can use your light to make your healing faster. I've seen many of stories, and I'm not saying people have done this, but I've seen a lot of spiritual people use spiritual practices to heal themselves of diseases, of mental diseases, and things of that nature. I'm not saying that they're 100%, but what I'm saying is that they're no longer in a terrible place they was in before. They're more in a light place. They're more in a understanding that they woke up one day and they told themselves, hey, I'm not going to die like that, period. Now, with that being said, when you're healing your physical body and your mind's eye, even an animal, a piece of land, trust me, you can heal the land. Trust me. Trust me. Trust me. You can definitely heal the land by literally putting your hand into it. A country or any place on the like in existence. Okay, we are really that powerful. And You like, it's like literally using your light to soften a discord with the planet, because so many things has happened to the planet, and it's so many ugly things and ugly truths that people don't want to accept, and they want to like mull over or not believe, and call it pseudo or whatever, and that's fine because everyone's entitled to their own opinion. um but as someone who's like an energy worker or a light worker, whatever people choose to call us, it's it's extremely true. Transmutation is so many different levels of transmutation. Shout out to Clubhouse, I hear y'all. That I'll give you an example of transmutation with agriculture. So I had an area where it was not growing. It was not growing. The sun was there, and it was the soil. The soil wasn't good enough. It was just like, it wasn't healthy enough. So what I did was, I brought in nutrients to the soil. I put my hands in the dirt. I talked to the soil. I made the soil understand that I needed it for a purpose, and I was grateful for the job it was prepared to do. And I did that constantly. And next thing you know, I'm trying to tell you, I had clay soil, okay? And my garden flourished. As many of photos online of my garden, community gardens, everything, like in our urban farm, and it flourishes in this clay soil still years later because of that energy I put into it, and I'm grateful for that. A lot of people with clay soil have a lot of issues where they can't grow. And when we tell them that you can go talk to your garden, you can go talk to your plants, you can go, give the ground nutrients. You can say thank you for the abundance. You can be grateful and give the energy back to the earth, and you'll have a great crop. You see it everywhere now that people are doing these things. Like my the urban farm likes trap music, and the herb garden just likes R&B and like classic rock and roll. I don't know why, but it does. And I burn frankincense in every space, in dragon's blood sage as well, because I understand energy. Now that was the example I want to give y'all. Anyone that has any questions, just raise your hand. Come to the stages, comment, and I'll read. Okay, let me come to Clubhouse. I see somebody raising their hand. I just want you to know that we are streaming live though. So if you're going to comment, please keep it 1 to 1.5 minutes, because we are streaming live on a lot of networks. What's up, Miss Trillian? How you doing? Great rising.
And I love that example, and that's so cute that your plants like different music. I have heard of this before, where you play certain music for your plants and they kind of flourish. I have one in my room that we're still getting to know each other. So yeah, I love this topic.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. So do you have any questions, or do you have any experience with transmutation of energy, whether it's on any level, sexual, career wise, money wise, whatever, even attitude wise, anything that you want to gift to other people? Because even though this is a podcast, it's a self-development podcast, so I always appreciate when people come and share. So thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm still learning about transmutation. I have definitely heard of it. I have heard the first time I heard of it, I heard a man say that he transmutes his sexual urges into being more focused at work, and he is also abstinent. So I found that really interesting, that you could take energy from one part of your body, or just like a certain feeling that you have as far as energy, and then put it into something else. Because I had probably done that subconsciously or instinctually, but I never did it intentionally. So I do try to transmute anger, because I've been a really angry person for a long time. So now that I'm in therapy and on medication, I noticed that I am able to control my emotions. So I do try to transmute my emotions, and I want to learn how to transmute everything. I want to be a transformer.
Yes. Yeah. So listen in, because I got some more stuff for you, because I'm definitely a transformer. And thank you for sharing that, because that's something that people get uncomfortable with when they hear that, I've been abstinent for, I've been celibate. I like to use celibacy because that's what I claim. over my sister. I've been celibate because it's by choice for almost 3 years now. So my whole thing is that I was talking about this yesterday actually to my friend, and the person asked me, "What are you doing with all the energy?" I said, "Well, I'm creating things." I said, "I spend a lot of time getting different certifications. I've been a certified emotional intelligence coach, got my real estate license. Right now, I'm taking a class at Stanford. I'm taking a course at Harvard, and I'm also doing Google certification. So that's all in 1 year. That's this year, and I just finished my naturopathy diploma a few weeks ago. So it's just like I use all that sexual energy to enhance my intelligence. Yeah, I used to use it to create like yeah, and I used to use it to create like products and stuff like that. And I just talked to my daughter about that this morning. I said, you know what? We're gonna use I didn't tell her the whole sexual energy thing. Of course, she's only 12. But I was like, we're gonna start making products again because I realized we were very, that's our happy place when we're making herb products, we're creating new recipes and different things like that for our business. So I'm like, that's what I'm gonna start doing again with you. And she's like, oh great, I can't wait. I enjoy that. So with that being said, it's literally about thoughts, it's about projections. Like when you're angry and however you calm yourself down, how do you do? Do you squeeze a ball? Do you nose breathe? What are you doing?
So back to my point of maybe I was doing it like subconsciously and just instinctually, like like our bodies just do things. Like we have white blood cells that just do things for our protection, and sometimes we don't realize. So I didn't know that I had coping strategies. I really didn't. So there's a lot of different things that I do. I listen to music. I write music.
Mm-hmm.
I sing songs. I go to the spa. I buy things that like kind of make me happy, and I organize a little. I have so many different things that I do, and this is why I recommend therapy. And just maybe I transmuted my energy into coming into this room today because I'm curious about that word. So I feel like in therapy, my therapist helped me wake up coping strategies, and when she was going through it with me, I mean, even a stress ball is one of them. I have considered, let me, get myself a stress ball because that, I have anxiety. And when you do bring something to your attention other than your thoughts, you do focus on it. So your hand squeezing whatever, it will distract you from other things, hence even transmuting it into something else. So yeah, that was a long answer, but I do
a little bit. You almost got hit with the button, Miss Trillian. You almost got hit with the button. I'll just play it, just play it. No, I love your response though. I'm very extremely transparent that I have a therapist. I'm not ashamed of that. I don't think therapy makes you crazy. Everyone in my house has a therapist. I'm not that parent. I know I can't fix it all. Not trying to. I just want to make sure everybody doesn't have a childhood they had to recover from. Period. And I don't want to have the adulthood that makes me miserable and I'm alone and just bitter. If that makes any sense. So I'm definitely proud of you for choosing therapy because having those coping skills definitely give you other skills like effective communication, empathy, and things of that nature, and it keeps you on your P's and Q's when you're actually, aligned with your therapist and doing the things that you should do for yourself. Because I'm just very proud of you. So just know that all the things that you said is definitely transmutation. I don't know how long you've been in the room, but definitely, if you can hit the replay like later on and just listen from the beginning, you'll see that everything you just said is in alignment with some of the things we already spoken on and some of the things I'm about to speak on. Now, with that said, I want to make sure that I put out there that light workers are supposed to use their light to help others, but some people don't. They only use it to help themselves because they feel like they're depleting their own energy. Even on some of these social media apps, you'll hear them say, I'm not doing that. I'm protecting my energy when they know damn well they have enough light to help people. It's unfortunate. You can't tell people what to do. So they're not really they're not really practicing transmutation at the level that they should. And this is why a lot of times certain people that say, I'm manifesting, I manifest, like, well, how long are you going to manifest for? Why you're not receiving the things that you should be receiving in abundance is because they're not using their light energy in healthy ways. Yes.
That's interesting. Yep. I love that point. And I was going to say, I think I'm still like learning all this stuff, and I appreciate you and your, in your room for this and your morning shows, because it's very informative. I think I've been using light work and I don't know it. I feel people's energy, and it's you have to be very careful who you even touch. So I have a partner. And he is around my father's age. So he has like aches and pains in his body sometimes. And I bought us a massage table to massage him. And he doesn't tell me where he's necessarily hurting, but I'm able to find all these spots on his body to loosen up his muscles, places that he didn't even know that he needed a rub down. So I'm thinking that might be light work, because I can feel.
Yeah, well, not to cut you off, I'm sorry. It's definitely Reiki. I'm a Reiki healer. A lot of people like to put masters on things, but you can never master any of these practices because you have to keep on learning and evolving with them. So I'm just a Reiki worker, and that's definitely what you're doing is Reiki healing. If you want to buy yourself a pendulum and you don't want to, sometimes you just want to put it over his body, it'll start spinning over the areas that really need the most work, though. Yep. If you have a sage, you can just cleanse it with sage. Yep. So you already had that Reiki energy in you because you're a spiritual vessel person first with a physical vessel, right? So yes, you were absolutely right about that. It's all about tapping in, and you seem pretty tapped in anyway. I always see the rooms that you're in. I don't really visit a lot of those rooms, but I always see you like pretty tapped in anyway. So just keep on keep on working with that and expanding, and you'll definitely understand what I mean by saying you're already tapped in and you just need to keep on expanding. Because sometimes people get scared and they're like, I don't know this and I don't know that, but everything you said is in alignment. Everything. So you do know, but it's like that tiny bit of fear that's probably stopping you from reaching your highest potential. Well, not highest potential, your highest self. I don't like using that word potential at all. So I just say keep going with it. Keep feeling the energy at your pace. Keep going with the vibrations at your pace. Like you said, you're getting to know your plants and different things of that nature. The more connected we are to nature, the more we connect to self, because that's what we are part of. We come from dust, we go back to dust. The physical vessel and the spirit still lives. So, just keep that in mind. I don't get all religious and stuff. I just, I try to keep it in a general form that we're talking about transmutation, because even with the things that you said about transmute and anger, that's one of the hardest thing. Well, no, I'm gonna rephrase it. I don't like talking. That's one of the most difficult things to do is transmute anger into something positive. I realized once. Let me get one little quick story about me because I don't want to focus too much. I realized that when I was separated, I was so angry. I was so extremely angry that I was separated from my husband. I felt like I failed. I had lost my house. I was living with other people. I felt like I didn't have anything. And so I started painting because I was not self-expressing. I wasn't telling people how I felt. I was letting people bully me, just tell me whatever. You know what I mean? Like, just I had to do whatever they said because it was their house. I wasn't standing up for myself anymore. And my children were witnessing this. Okay. And that's not my personality. I think my personality developed when I finally stood up for myself, but I had to use things like painting, my anger, and a lot of my artwork is still in places in Philadelphia, like businesses, from all that anger. Like my photography that I started when I was that angry from transmuting my energy. I've had thousands of dollars made, and I've connected with like thousands of people in my city off of my anger. So that transmutation of energy, I say, you saying you're a songwriter, then keep writing them songs, baby. Like if you can sing them, sing the songs, period. Record yourself, because that is your gift. That's your gift. And that transmutation that you're able to do, and you don't know how you'll be able to do it because it's a part of you. That's why. So I'm just getting all amped up. You hear my voice starting to rise. I get all amped up, like it's the spirit that's inside of me, and it just start getting amped up when I get happy. So that energy that you're experiencing, I want you to expand upon it. Like keep on coming in rooms, keep on showing up. When you show up, people are like, oh yeah, she's gonna have something good to say. That's why I said when I see you there, like, oh yeah, she's gonna have something good to say. She's gonna have a teaching moment for us all. And you did that without you even knowing I was thinking that in my head. You came in already in sync and harmony, period. Okay. Dun dun dun. Now, if you want to respond, you can, but I'm getting in my mode right now. So go right ahead, Miss Trilly.
No, yes, I love it. I was gonna say, where do you get your pendulum? And if can you just make one?
You can listen. Let me tell you, if you have a shoestring or even thread in your house, go outside and find a nice rock, clean it off, tie it up, and there you go. Boom shakalaka. I'm trying to tell you, people like, oh, I gotta spend $10 on Amazon. No, you don't. No, you don't. What you think our ancestors used for pendulums? Come on. Please. Literally. You tie something to the bottom of a string and you what it is your energy. Literally, you're only using your energy. You're connected to the universe with your energy, right? You know, that's all it is. I promise you. Now, if you want to buy one, I bought mine off of Etsy. I bought some off of Amazon. I have a lot of pendulums. But like I said, if you want to just be like, let me just try this out and play with it today, go outside, look for something, get a string, tie it to it, and play with it, and see how it's working with your energy, and then back channel me and let me know how it's going. And also back channel me anyway, so I can tell you what it means, yes or no, what that means. Okay, I'm not going to do it on here because that's not the conversation for today about what it means with a pendulum, but I'll definitely let you know in the back channel. Okay, if that's okay.
Thank you. Yeah.
You're welcome. Yeah. So I just love because people are light beings, and I love when I talk to women, especially women, because women are like, I don't know why. I pick up on vibes when I walk in the room. I'm like, because your aura layer is 500 layers. Imagine how wide that would be. Just walking into the room and you single in on one person that might not like your guts at all. And you coming all happy, and now you feeling like, oh God, I don't want to be here. You start feeling a little bit shaky and nervous, but then that other energy comes in like, no, you powerful, you strong, sis. We showing up as we are, and you just take over. Then that person wind up liking you. All the shades you got. Oh, I'm getting the chills. That's the ancestors coming through. Oh man, see, you get me all hyped up. I haven't had that happen in a while. But literally that's the ancestors coming through, your spirit guides is coming through for you in that moment. Like, you know what? We're not going to focus on that. We're going to stay ourselves. We're going to stay positive. That energy might make you a little shaky and stuff because you're too open. Well, I wouldn't say too open, but you're open, you're vulnerable, you're there to empathize, to heal. And have you ever experienced that before when you just walked in the room and you felt like you singled in on that one person that just gave you shady energy? You didn't even know them. You just felt the vibes from them.
Yeah, and can I share a story about it? It's not, I believe it's in 20 seconds.
That's no 100 and I'm not 100. Oh my God, a minute. You got 2 minutes, so that's good. You good.
Okay. So long story short, I used to be a choreographer and backup dancer in my teens and early 20s, and I met an artist who wanted to move to Atlanta, Georgia, and she asked me to come with her. So I went with her, and we met this guy. And as soon as I met him, my stomach was hurting, my head was hurting, and I just didn't want to be near him, and I didn't understand why. And this was one of my first experiences. I'm 34 now, so this is one of my first experiences where I was like, I'm learning that maybe I'm an empath, because I just fucking hated. I just hated this guy. I hated him. And longer story short, he ends up being a scammer trying to steal my friend's music and sell it overseas. And initially, I was so mean and rude to him, and she was pissed at me, like, why are you being like this? Like, he's going to help us. He's going to help me, and you're going to mess up my opportunity. And I'm like, I'm so sorry. I don't know what came over me. It's just something about him. I just hate him. I just don't like him. My head hurts. And that's weird. And he was being so nice to us, too. And he was just a fraud trying to steal from her. And she never apologized to me, by the way, which she should have, but it woke up a lot for me in my journey through all of these words and spirituality, because how do I dislike you that much and you did nothing to me? Something is wrong. So yeah, that's my story.
Okay, so let's break that down. What happened was, it's not that you didn't like him, you didn't like his energy. You knew his energy was not right. You saw something in him where there was no empathy, where there was no connectivity, and that did not make you feel safe. So that's exactly what it was. That was your intuition. That was your divine feminine picking up on, this person is not a safe person. This is not someone we should be dealing with. So that's literally what it was. That's you transmuting your energy into, it's like a radar that we have. And you never hear these things when people talk about divine feminine or transmutation. You never hear people talk about the radar that we have that picks up on energy that's really bad for us. It's like our red flag zones. They go up. We always get the red flags and we ignore them. So I'm so happy that you are not ignoring your red flags. So now when you speak about yourself spiritually, like, listen, I'm spiritually connected, period. Okay. Period. Everybody's learning. You think I'm not learning? I'm learning from you right now. I'm learning from your experience. I'm learning that, damn, I might have experienced that too. And I didn't act on it and I got messed over. because I didn't act on it and I didn't believe someone else picking up on energy that I just wanted to be all happy go lucky about. Like, no, they okay, give them a chance, you know? And I'm glad that you stood your ground, because what happened was the truth was unveiled. And that's what happened when you're living in that state of like consciousness, and you're okay with your subconscious as well. You're able to see things that others can't see. So keep that in mind. That's all. I don't know what you think about that, but literally. I want to read some comments from Spoon. Someone said that their gift is helping elderly people, and they said, oh my gosh, I'm in the right place. And that's the second time I heard that, so we hear it one more time. That means we are in divine timing. I already know we are, though, because I got the chills all over my body. And Miss Trillian came in, and she got some great ancestors behind her and some spirit guides that's protecting her, and they co-mingling with minds, and I'm feeling real hyped up, even emotional a little bit. I don't know what's going on, but that's a whole nother conversation for a whole nother day. But it's just excitement, though. It's like good energy, and it's nothing like good energy. With that being said, if you have anything else to add to the conversation, feel free. And then after that, we're gonna wrap it up.
Yeah, I'm really happy. You know, I came across you. I definitely see you, and I wanted to come in here and show support. And you know, we are in divine timing, and our ancestors are vibing. You know, it's like, I think the stereotypes of that they impose on women is that certain women shouldn't commingle and should not coexist. And I think through our, you know, whatever the word is, whether it's our ancestors or our energy, we're proving that to be false. Women definitely are more power together when they're like-minded. So yeah, I just appreciate you, and I appreciate this room, and shout out to everybody listening.
Period. Yes, so thank you so much, Miss Trillian. I would love for you to come back on as a guest, though, or as a co-host one day. We can pick a topic. With that being said, this was the AM Inspiration Show. To wake that ass up, streaming live from YouTube, Facebook, Clubhouse, dropping audio, Spoon app, dropping audio, Twitter, Spotify, and Anchor. With that being said, we are live every morning, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 days a week, 365. I will see y'all tomorrow, Saturday, and we're going to get right into another topic. Peace, y'all. Take care.